Hello and welcome to Paleo Greenbird. I am Greenbird, and today we are going to be in video number 7, I believe, of our Dacite tool challenge. Still have this big old piece of Dacite. Hardly looks like we've even taken anything out of it. And we've gotten 6 tools, I believe. Well, actually 7, because there's a microblade that I have not hafted yet. Maybe I'll make a video on that. And now I'm going to take another flake and see what I can do. So I think today I'm going to go back to copper, get my medium billet, and I'm going to try and take off more of this big bumpy part on the top. So just to try and get this back down to a bifacial type of piece, because eventually that's what I would like to get out of this, is a nice big point, or knife or something. The points that we've gotten out of here so far, they've been a little down and dirty, but that's alright. Just trying to give myself some platforms. Not that big. Ooh, have to keep this. This is something that would normally go in my trash pile, but not today. I could really just work that, but I'd love to get a little bit of that nubby stuff off, so I am going to... What?
If you're recording, guys, subscribe to my channel, Emily.Woods.
Right.
Channel Y.
You don't have shoes on. You need to get off the porch so you don't get cut.
Yeah, so I don't get another thing.
Yeah, you don't want another one of those things, do you?
Bye, guys. Peace out.
Peace out. Alright, so where were we here? Need to fix my daughter's squirt gun. Probably could even do something with this little chunk, but I think this little itty bitty thing, I'm going to put it in my scrap pile and I'll get back to it another time. We're not going to count that. Alright, so we have the beginnings of a good platform right here. Starting to get that little smiley look. Nice ridge, you can see that it follows down there. If I hit this high, I should be able to take off a nice thick flake, reduce that down. Not only reduce it down, but it'll give us a bigger flake. We've been working those small flakes, which is fine. We got a bunch of bird points. We have maybe 1 or 2. I think we have 2 larger points. So far, all of our tools have been points. Maybe this will be a little bit bigger. Let's see. So I'm going to hit it high. Okay, so instead of hitting it low to just skim off a little bit, I'm going to hit it a little bit higher. Try and make it so that it takes off that thick spot and feathers in to where it's thinner. Adjust my setup here a little bit. Whoops, I missed the platform completely. Small flakes. I did not get a clean flake. Not what I wanted. And we got a little itty bitty flake. So those are 2 itty bitty flakes. I really feel like if I take another flake, I'll take 1 more. But after that, I'm starting to kind of get behind myself here, because I want to make sure I take every single flake and turn it into a tool. So I don't want to get caught up in percussion here, because that's what I can tend to do. I love percussion. It's my favorite part of Flint Knapping. So, we have a little ridge here you can follow. It's a little junky. You see it? It's a little junky. I'm going to take it anyway. I'm going to hit a little bit high. I think maybe I was pushing too down. I was supporting too far down. So, let it float a little bit. Support it with my fingers and bottom there. There we go. I stabbed myself, but I did get a much better flake. That's what I wanted to do last time. Instead of that flake crumbling, feathered off. Wasn't quite as deep as I would like it to be, but you can see we're starting to thin this rock and flatten it out. So I'm going to put it away. This piece here is a little bit too thin to really do much with. Might be able to get a little bird point out of that. I mean, it's a nice sharp edge. So, let's get the pad out and see what we can do here. As you can see, it's kind of like U-shaped. It's horseshoe shaped. Well, not horseshoe, but it's U-shaped. I'm just going to save myself the hassle and get rid of that bottom part there. It's never going to make it to the blade. In fact, I'm going to use percussion for that. More small material and dust flakes that I'm producing that I would like, but well, let's grind. Let's see what we're left with. We're going to get another arrow point out of this, I believe. So this is the preform type thing we're left with. Still got a little bit of curve in there, but that's okay. It'll be just like working a bottle bottom. That thick part of the tip, and try not to break it off because it is thicker up there, and the way that shape is, if I give it too much downward support, it'll snap for sure. Just enough. To envision where my center line is going to be. Usually it's not that difficult, but sometimes with these weird shaped flakes, it'd be hard to see through the illusions of all those curves and everything to see where your real center line is going to end up being. Starting to find it. This bottom part where the base is at is a little curved. No. I mean, I'm trying to record a video. Can you take it inside? I don't want you tracking Flint all around the house. Get inside, please. I'll be in a couple minutes, okay?
Wait a minute.
Thank you. Good job.
Alright, guys, you gotta hop
Yeah, we'll play it when I get inside. We can do that. That's fine. Okay, so still working on that basic shape. These flake points are really interesting because, especially the real thin ones, you don't really have that traditional flake pattern to work off of, so it really teaches you how to shape and use everything to your advantage. So you don't have the luxury of having nice platforms that are just going to send beautifully symmetrical flakes across your piece. Though if the flake is thick enough, then you do, of course. But I haven't taken anything thick enough yet to do that with. What's that? Trying to get this just into the basic shape of an arrowhead. I'm almost there, really. A few thick spots that need to be reduced. We're making pretty good progress. This end part here, though, is still, see how it goes that way? Still not how I need it to be. Trying to take off some mass. It's got to come off. Sometimes you have to be careful with the curve because at the end, what you think is curved at the end might really be in line with your tip. So therefore, the middle is what needs to be adjusted to fix your center line. But in this particular situation, that is not the case. I just need to get rid of that spot because the rest is all in line with itself. Then, I think we'll have a pretty good preform for a little arrow. Another point runner. That'll be crazy. That'll be tool number 7. And it'll be 8 after I halved that little microblade that we took off a while back. I'll tell you one thing, I'm looking at my flake pile a whole lot differently now. Instead of seeing trash in there that I need to figure out what to do with, I see points. I see big points, actually. Bigger than what I'm making right now. It's interesting how you can change your perspective just by opening your eyes to the things around you, the opportunities that are around you. Not just opportunities you know, in life to gain something, but even the opportunities to grow as a person and change your perspective a little bit. This tip is a little bit thick. I suppose that's just the way it's going to be. For now, anyway. So I get hung up on this tip a bit. Okay. Let's move on from that. The tip's got a little bit of a hook on it, so I'm just trying to even that out because I kind of obsessed over that one spot. That's what happens. Alright, so from that kind of junky little curved microblade looking piece, we got this out of it so far. Pretty thin. Tip's a little bit thick, but we still have a good center line. As long as you have a good center line, in my opinion, even if the tip is a little bit thicker, I don't know, maybe that just gives you a little bit more kinetic force or something. I'm just trying to think positive, but as long as you have a center line, that's the most important thing. I mean, you want it uniformly the same thickness all the way through it, but if for some reason you just can't, don't get it, at least if you have a center line, that helps a lot. Right. So now I'm looking at this and I see that this one side of the base right here needs to be evened up with the rest of it, because I'm not going to fool with this too much. We're going to put some notches in this and call it done pretty soon here. Until I'll square that up. One side kind of has the start of the notch, so it's just going to make the other side match. Right, so now I'm going to do some fine edge work just to make it even straighter. A little bit better. Probably not completely necessary, but it will make it look a lot straighter. All said and done. And some of these microflakes are sharpening it a little bit. Some of them are just kind of grinding, but if we want to really sharpen this, we can come back and do that when it's time to use it. Just little flakes right now. Just tiny shaping flakes. Took that tip a little too far on that one side. The tip on this thing, but it's going to be the death of me. Probably just lost a centimeter just from messing with that tip too much. That's all right. This is probably going to end up being the messiest out of all the points we've made so far. Off this piece of dacite. tip. I kind of lost the tip. Blunted out a little bit. So let's see if I can get that back. There we go. I'm not going to mess with it too much because that's when I keep losing that tip. Alright, so I feel like we have an acceptable shape. Grind it off one last time. This will be larger than some of those itty bitty bird points that we had before if I don't break it. Alright, so here we are. Looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Pretty thin, got a good center line. It's got a thick tip. It's alright. What are you gonna do? Base is pretty even. It's still kind of flares up a little bit on this side, but we'll fix that when we notch it. Got the starts of the notches on the side there, so let's just get to that. So we can wrap this video up. It's starting to get a little bit dark. This one probably won't have like super deep notches just because it's kind of small, kind of thin. Flip it over. Like I've said a million times, I try not to notch too far on one side because, well, frankly, I'm not good enough to be able to determine whether or not I'm going to be able to get that other side just as deep. So I'd rather have notches that match than notches that are super deep. Well, I'd rather have notches that are really deep, but only if I can get them both deep. Okay, a little bit more on this side, and probably be done. Trying to be really easy on the support here. I'm not going to push in that middle spot there. Just going to support it. You don't want to support. You do want to support it. You don't want to just push on the outsides because then you'll snap it too. You want to make contact with it, but you don't want to be pushing on it. At least that's what I've found. So these notches don't want to go too much further, and I do not want to force them because I'm happy with this point that we have. So I'm going to trim this ear up a little bit so it matches a little better. Really careful now because you could pop these ears off really easy. Real easy. It's almost sometimes not worth touching them up because you'll 9 out of 10 times you never see them when you have them anyway. But so here Needs a little bit more. It's just a little bit larger on one side. Don't really want to leave that. Break these ears off now, but I just want it to match a little bit better. Alright, that's better. That's acceptable. Love to get that notch a little bit deeper, but I think she's stalled. So we're going to call that acceptable. Not perfect, but acceptable. This is the point that we're left with. Here's the top. Here's the bottom. There it is. In all its glory. You can see a lot of shadows. I don't know how much this is picking up, but maybe I can do something like this. I can keep it still long enough. Alright, so thank you for joining me. This is tool number 7, soon to be tool number 8 once I have that microblade that we made. We do have a couple more chunks here that I am not going to throw away. These are going to be points. I can tell. Now I just know, based on what we've done in this project with the small pieces that we've worked. I feel like my trash pile is a gold mine. So I'm going to put these in a separate spot, not in my trash pile, in a separate spot so we can keep track of these and I'll know exactly how many tools that we got out of that one piece of Dacite that still looks almost the same as when we started with it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is Paleo Greenbird, and I am signing out. Have a great night.